Yo, it's me. It's me. It's the SCOTT. Fucking Alien 3. You know what I think of Alien 3? Exactly. So, Aliens. One of the biggest, best sci-fi action films ever made comes out. One of the best directors ever out there. What do you do after that? You shit all over that movie. Oh yeah, you got... Make sure I don't get him. I believe it's David Fincher that directs this. But he got no control. No control over this. They were constantly rewriting stuff and constantly, having to take stuff out, put stuff in, change stuff. He had nothing. Then, I can speak for Fincher. I've seen Seven. He can do a good movie. This, it's not his fault, though. It's the studio. Fox wanted this and wanted that and wanted this and wanted that. And first of all, you start the film explicitly by killing off 3 out of the 4 survivors from the previous film. Now, I'll say that Bishop dying, 1, is not a big deal, and 2, didn't have to happen. Because 1, you got... Now, if you say, they couldn't get Lance Henriksen to come back, okay. But then how does he show up at the end of the film then? Obviously, you get him to come back. It's his voice that they use. But I don't understand why. All you had to do was have them rebuild him. Like, they had the technology on the ship, whatever, and they could fix him. He could, and if you say, they're on a prison colony, they can't fix him, all they have to do is have Bishop instruct them in how to repair him. That's it. And they can have him fixed. Or, because he's synthetic, he could have fixed him damn self when they were asleep. Yeah, makes sense, doesn't it? But no, we get this flood of something that causes everyone to die. Kills off Hicks. Kills off Newt. Ripley's still alive, though. And we don't use Bishop other than cameo towards the beginning of the film, cameo at the end of the film as the guy who created the Bishop robot. Okay. But how long from the second film does this film take place? And if he's the design for the Bishop robot, then why do they look exactly the same age? There should be a younger version than the robot, an older version as this guy. It don't make any sense. And not only do they kill off characters, they have to shove it in our face. Because they have Ripley demand an autopsy of Newt. And so we gotta see them, not explicitly, but cut into her. And if that wasn't enough, during their funeral scene, they decide to splice it with the creation of a new xenomorph, which comes out of a dog. Now, the one thing I can say from the assembly cut is that in that cut, it comes out of an ox. Which I can sort of see why they said dog, because why would an ox be on a freaking, a dog would make more sense. Just randomly an ox on a prison planet, I don't know. So, this is a prison planet full of serial killers and rapists. And their big idea to protect Ripley is for her to shave her head. At least that's what I got. One, they know she's a woman. Because he said, had that big fat ass bald guy come out and say, there was one survivor. It is a woman. So shaving her head is not going to disguise her when they know she's a woman. Also, one thing that shocked me is when the credits were going, I saw the name Paul McGann. If you don't know who that is, he was the 8th Doctor on Doctor Who. He portrayed the 8th Doctor in the TV film from 1996 entitled Doctor Who. And here, I know the reason why I didn't recognize it was everybody has a fucking bald head. Why? Why did they have to have shaved heads? It doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, it's a prison planet. Okay, sure. But that makes... You can't recognize anyone other than if they're a different color, like Charles S. Dutton. Or Charles Dance, because it's Charles Dance. And he doesn't have his head all the way to shave down. And so Gordon Weaver, because she's a woman. And her hair isn't all the way shaved down. Everybody else's head is shaved bald, but Ripley and Charles Dance. That's it. Everybody else is just shaved completely bald. And Paul McGann's in this film. I couldn't tell you exactly which parts, because I'm able to pick him out once I knew he was there. But they blend in so much. And so she finds out she has a xenomorph inside her. Not only that, a queen that's going to lay more eggs. She finds this out almost an hour and 20 minutes into the damn film. It should have burst by then. Hello? Kane in the first film. How long did he have it in there? 20 minutes to an hour. Screen time? 20 minutes to a half hour, I should say. Maybe 45 minutes. 20 minutes to a half hour screen time. They took him in, they examined him, and he was asleep, and they got back up. And it was about a half hour, 45 minutes. 1 hour and 20 minutes. And she still hasn't burst yet, by the way. And she tells Charles S. Dutton to kill her because it's going to happen. And then when Bishop 2, as he's known in the bonus material, shows up and tells Ripley, I can get it out of you, she jumps into the molten lava stuff. And I know in this cut, it doesn't burst out. In the assembly cut, it does. Or vice versa. I didn't see that part, actually. I was paying attention to something else, and I happened to turn, and the credits started. One of the cuts it burst out, and one of the other cuts it doesn't. Well, it makes sense if it doesn't burst out, and I'll tell you why. Because if after almost an hour and a half of not bursting out of her chest since they found her, never mind the fact that it should have burst out of her when the movie started, if it just all of a sudden bursts out right at the end, why? But if it never bursts out, then it's like, okay, this doesn't make any sense, but I don't know, maybe more sense than it bursting out at the end, I don't know. And so they kill off Ripley here. And that was supposed to be it. But because this movie was so disappointing, they decided to make Resurrection. We'll get to that one. So, I haven't had anything positive to say about this. There's nothing. Even the CGI they use for, I think it's CGI. I heard maybe it's a puppet and it just looks terrible. I don't know. It looks horrible. The alien looks horrible. I'm sorry. It looks horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And when you go from characters, when you go from a movie, there's so many lovable characters like in Aliens, and even Alien had some good characters in it, to here, you're on a prison planet where every single person on this planet but Ripley is a serial killer or a rapist. Who the fuck do you root for? Besides Ripley. You got this alien, this xenomorph, chasing after everyone. Are you going to say, no, come on, don't eat them? No, they're rapists, they're killers. You want everyone to die except for Ripley. You don't make main characters of your film bad people and expect people to not want them to die. Ripley's the only one who wants to survive, and then you shock us with the fact that she has a xenomorph inside her, not only that, but a queen, so she has to die. Fuck you, movie. Fuck you. Our hero, who has survived twice fighting off these things now must die. Not just because there's a xenomorph inside her, but because you decided this is the last movie and she has to die. Fuck you. Alright? Going out in a piece of shit film like this is not what she deserved. And that's why we got Resurrection. And that didn't help. Alright? This movie from me gets a 5. I can't go any lower than that because I know Resurrection's going to be worse. And it has to be worse. If not, then I don't know. But it's going to get a 5 because Ripley's still in it. She's not herself, actually. You know that infamous scene where the xenomorph was right in front of her and she's going, why would she do that? She's fucking Ripley. In the previous film, she had a big-ass gun and was ready to kill the motherfuckers. At the beginning of this film, she is going all gung-ho trying to make sure there is no xenomorphs. Trying to make sure there's a way to stop it. And now she's almost crying in tears. What? But at least it's Sigourney Weaver, and she's clearly giving it her all here. She's like the best thing in the film. That's about the only good thing, and that's at least worth 5 points for me, Sigourney Weaver. But other than that, movie is shit. I'm sorry. And I know people say, watch the assembly cut, it's better. Maybe one of these days I will, but not now. Not now. Sorry, but not now. So it's a 5. So what are you guys' thoughts on Alien 3? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. I'll see you in the next one.